Welcome back to Focusify, the space where we talk about mindset, clarity, and the uncomfortable phases of growth that no one really prepares you for. Today's topic is something almost everyone experiences, but very few understand. Feeling lost. That phase where you're not sure what you want, where you're going, or even who you're becoming. It feels confusing, it feels heavy, and for many people it feels like failure. But what if feeling lost isn't a problem? What if it's actually a sign that growth is happening? To explore this, I'm joined by Wahid Kamar. Wahid, welcome.
Thank you, Mubashir. This is such an important topic because people often panic when they feel lost without realizing that this phase is actually meaningful.
Let's start with the basics. When people say they feel lost, what are they actually experiencing?
Feeling lost usually means your old identity no longer fits, but the new one hasn't formed yet. Your previous goals don't excite you anymore. Your routines feel empty, and the future feels unclear. It's not that you have no direction, it's that the direction you were following no longer feels true.
Why does that feel so uncomfortable?
Because humans crave certainty. We like labels, we like plans, we like knowing where we're headed. Feeling lost removes those mental anchors. It forces you to sit with uncertainty, and uncertainty feels unsafe, even when it's necessary.
Why does growth so often look like confusion instead of progress?
Because growth rarely looks clean from the inside. When you're evolving, old beliefs start breaking down. Old goals lose meaning. Old versions of you start fading. That in-between phase feels messy, disorganized, and confusing, but that's because transformation is happening beneath the surface.
So feeling lost isn't stagnation?
Not at all. Stagnation feels numb. Feeling lost feels uncomfortable, emotional, and restless. That discomfort is movement. It means something inside you is shifting.
Why do so many people associate feeling lost with failure?
Because society glorifies clarity. We're taught that successful people always know what they're doing, but no one talks about the years of confusion before that clarity arrives. So when people feel lost, they think, I'm behind. Everyone else has it figured out. Something must be wrong with me. In reality, many people just hide their confusion better.
Does comparison make this phase worse?
Absolutely. When you compare your inner confusion with someone else's outer confidence, you'll always feel inadequate. You're comparing your behind the scenes with their highlight reel.
Does feeling lost connect to identity changes?
Very strongly. You feel lost when your identity is under reconstruction. The old version of you no longer fits, but the new version isn't ready yet. This often happens after personal failures, career dissatisfaction, emotional burnout, major life changes. Your mind hasn't caught up to who you're becoming.
Why does the ego resist this phase?
Because the ego wants certainty and control. Feeling lost makes the ego feel exposed and powerless, so it creates anxiety, self-doubt, and urgency, even when slowing down is exactly what you need.
Let's flip the perspective. Why can feeling lost actually be a good sign?
Because it means you're questioning your life instead of blindly repeating it. People who never feel lost often live on autopilot, following paths they never chose consciously. Feeling lost means you're asking deeper questions. Is this life aligned with me? Is this really what I want? Am I growing or just surviving? Those questions are the foundation of meaningful growth.
So clarity comes after confusion.
Almost always. Clarity isn't found, it's built. And it's built through confusion, reflection, and exploration.
What's the biggest mistake people make during this phase?
They rush it. They try to force answers. They jump into random decisions. They adopt goals that don't belong to them just to escape discomfort. But growth can't be rushed. This phase needs patience, not panic.
What happens when people avoid feeling lost?
They settle. They stay in unfulfilling jobs. They remain in misaligned identities. Avoiding discomfort today creates regret tomorrow.
So how should someone navigate this phase?
First, normalize it. Feeling lost doesn't mean you're broken. Second, stop demanding immediate clarity. Ask better questions instead of chasing fast answers. Third, create structure without forcing direction. Simple routines keep you grounded while your vision evolves.
Should people take action or wait?
Take small, low-pressure actions. Explore, learn, experiment. You don't need a life plan. You need movement without self-punishment.
Why is trust so important during this phase?
Because growth often feels like loss before it feels like gain. You're losing old certainty, old identity, old comfort. Trust helps you stay present without needing guarantees.
What usually comes after feeling lost?
Alignment. You start noticing what energizes you. Your values become clearer. Your decisions feel lighter. Not because life becomes easier, but because it becomes more honest.
So feeling lost isn't something to fix quickly, it's something to understand.
Exactly. Feeling lost means you've outgrown who you were, but haven't fully stepped into who you're becoming. And that space, as uncomfortable as it is where real growth happens.
If you're feeling lost right now, this episode wasn't random. It was for you. This is Focusify. We don't just talk about success, we talk about the spaces in between. Like, subscribe, and share this with someone who's quietly finding their way. We'll see you in the next episode.